Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome to day 6, which is all about self-care practices to nourish your soul. So, this is an important day because when we learn to allow space to follow what is that makes our soul expansive, we start to live more in alignment with the energy we're wanting to create in our lives. So, when I talk about nourishing your soul, this is really about slowing down and listening to your soul. So I'm posting this on a Sunday, and Sunday is the ideal time to start this practice because often we see Sundays as our soul nourishing days, as our days to replenish, recharge, and just not do as much as we would during the week or on a Friday or Saturday. Sundays are a time to rest and recuperate for the week ahead, to refresh our minds and our bodies. So it's an ideal time to practice how we can really look at ways we can expand our soul and start living more consciously in alignment with it. So I'm going to give you some ideas of soul nourishing practices, and I just want you to feel into what resonates with you. There's no right or wrong. This is about tapping into your intuitive and creative wisdom, which, as I've mentioned before, is something that is part of all of us. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what I personally do to nourish my soul, but that could be completely different to what you want to do. I'm just a very empathic and energetic creative person where I feel like I get easily overwhelmed during the week, and Sundays are my time to slow down and reconnect to who I am. So when I get up in the morning, I try breath work because I found breath work is one of the quickest ways for me to release and clear any old and stagnant energy and to get connected to my body. And I recommend you try breath work if you haven't before. There are so many wonderful practitioners on YouTube. That's for free, which is amazing, and the power of the internet. So I usually use Breathwork with Sandy, which I'll link below, because I find some of them can be quite quick, which is 5 to 10 minutes, and some of the practices can be up to 30, 40 to an hour long, depending on how deep you want to take this practice. So I highly recommend checking him out because he's been posting for quite a while, quite a number of years, and I just really resonate with his meditation. So I highly recommend breath work. And that's because breath work gets us back into our bodies, and the way to get into our souls is to connect to our bodies, because our bodies are innately wise, and it is how we open up our soul, is when we slow down and reconnect. Because when we're in our bodies, we're in the present moment. We're feeling the energy that is moving around within us, and we're more able to feel this clear sense of direction that comes through from our soul when we're more connected, more grounded into our bodies. So that's one exercise I try and do every single morning, regardless of if it's Sunday or whether it's a Tuesday. I do that practice every morning as soon as I wake up. Another practice I like to try or do every Sunday is the practice of qigong. And qigong is something I've done for a number of years, and it's basically just combining breath work with the movement of our body. So we move our body in a very slow and conscious way in order to bring this sense of expansion, to clear any stagnant energy, and to open our energy up. And that qigong for me has always been a powerful practice to get myself back into my body and move in a way that's gentle and nourishing, and allows me to practice that self-care time because I'm bringing space within myself and around me. So qigong is something that I have always felt has created a powerful shift when I remember, this is my problem, remember to do it daily. I don't always get to these things daily, but on a Sunday, this is the day I really want to slow down and nourish and practice that. And another one Another self-care practice that I like to do is just a mindful walk in nature. Just getting out, putting on a meditation. So there's so many great walking meditations you could try, and just listening to a meditation that brings you back to your breath, the present moment, and allows you to open up to that sense of expansion that incorporates the natural world, because the natural world can infuse us with its healing capabilities. So Mother Earth has so much healing within and around her, and so much wisdom, that when we allow ourselves to immerse in the environment that we're meant to live in, we're not meant to live in big tower buildings with unnatural lighting. We're not meant to be in our houses all the time, sitting at computers, watching, doom scrolling on our phone. That is not our natural state of being. That is not what nourishes and expands a human being. When we allow ourselves to get out in nature, explore, take your kids, take your dogs, and just explore places you've not explored before. And just put on, if you're on your own, put on a meditation track. And if you're not, just bring awareness to that present moment. Just know those little moments pass us by so quickly that we forget to see the magic in even just the smallest things that can be part of our wider world. We forget that there's just beauty in just being, without having to do everything, without having to scroll through all the to-do lists we've got to get done. It just allows us to get back into our body. So nature is such a powerful part of a self-care practice. And finally, another one is journaling. Journaling, so we've touched on journaling and journaling prompts that we could try throughout the week, but free writing, free scripting is such a powerful practice, because it allows us to get our thoughts, things that have been going on in our heart that may have been feeling like they're blocking us, just getting it all down in paper allows us to sort of clear that energy, because we're shifting it, we're acknowledging it, we're saying that's there, we write it down, we ground it into like a piece of paper. And if it's something that you're wanting to release, then you could do a little releasing ritual where you either burn the paper safely, of course, or I don't really like burning things that I can't keep an eye, like I don't really like burning things altogether unless it's outdoors. But if I just sometimes tear the paper up and put it in the recycling, where I'm like, that's it, it's gone, get it out the house. Or scripting can just be something that we're practicing to connect to our souls. So as we mentioned, this is a time to ask, what is it your soul wants today? What is it that is needing to feel nourished? And writing down everything that you feel or your soul is bringing through in an intuitive way that would bring that sense of nourishment and replenishment and expansion. So just taking time to journal from our soul is a powerful practice in itself as well, and something that I like to do in the evenings as I'm settling down for the night. There might be some things that I'd like to connect with as I'm writing, and sometimes I use my journal to write down, because I love to work with oracle cards, and I love to work with these certain high vibrational oracle cards, such as the Language of Light oracle, that can help me shift my energy and let me see what it is that I'm maybe needing to release this week. Maybe it's something I'm needing to work on. Sometimes oracle cards can activate our own intuition and connect us more to our souls. So working with oracle cards is something that I've done for as long as I've been doing meditation work. So I highly recommend trying journaling, and if you've got oracle cards, picking a card for the week ahead just to see what energy you can work with and call in. And it's really interesting to see how we can take practical steps towards sort of our spiritual work. So oracle reading is very spiritual, but there's a lot of practicality to it as well if you get the cards that really resonate with you. So doing those practices is something that's part of my Sunday routine and something I love to do. But you might not resonate with any of that, or maybe there's one or two that you might resonate. If you don't resonate with any of that, then just, as I say, go into the journal and ask, what is it your soul needs to feel nourished today? What self-care practice can you do to connect with your soul? And it might say something completely random, like Maybe you love being in the kitchen and there's food that you love to make and you make it out of love for your family and for yourself. Maybe that's part of your soul exercise. Or maybe it's getting out in the garden, or connecting with your pets or your family, or spending time with people that you love, or journaling or writing, drawing, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. As long as it's coming from a high place, it's coming from your soul, it's something that you're needing right now. So just trust and move into that space of surrender. So I hope this exercise serves you, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and you enjoy some nourishment for your soul. I'll see you tomorrow.